Just as soon as we were about to start doing Shoot Your Shot and our extra bits, I just got some breaking news from Bleacher. And so this segment, I'll ask Wildy directly. Wildy, Hawks fire Lloyd Pierce. Atlanta dismisses head coach after a 14-20 start to the season. Thoughts?
Well, that was the big narrative going into the season, wasn't it? They had front office and head coaching on the hot seat for if we weren't making the playoffs. And, it's you wouldn't have to necessarily wait to the end of the season to know that it's not turned out the way we wanted it to. We obviously had that great start and it hasn't gone the right way. We've obviously had some injuries, but so have a lot of teams. Other teams have been able to adapt due to coaching. We haven't. So look, Lloyd Pierce is a great guy. He was at the forefront of the movement and the Black Lives Matter. He did so much. He's doing so much for that. That he's a great guy. But if he's not winning the amount of games that the organization wants, it's much easier to get a new coach than to refigure a team. Hey, look, see we get in to replace him and move forward.
That was going to be my next question. It seems in the NBA that there's always an assistant coach ready and waiting and primed for a job. But then you've also got a lot of previous head coaches who may not have got a second opportunity. The one that always springs to mind is Mark Jackson. How has Mark Jackson still not got another job since he's left Golden State? Wondering who you think could potentially be an option at head coach, where there would be another assistant or a head coach in the standings.
Well, just quickly on the Mark Jackson thing, Mark Jackson obviously coached Steph Curry and Klay Thompson when they were younger. So that would be a nice wrinkle to see if he could, utilize him in the same way he did Curry back in the day to help develop him further, along with having Rondo in his ear in terms of his pass selection versus shot selection. But, we shouted out the assistant coach over in Portland last week in terms of him not getting the job. I'm blanking. What job did
Minnesota?
Dane tweeted about. Thank you.
He is the Timberwolves. He's the current Timberwolves assistant. He was on Portland. That's why Lillard tweeted out. But he's the current Timberwolves assistant.
Fine. Well, that would be interesting. He's obviously not waiting around for anything in, over in Minnesota. It's not like he's holding on to anything there, so you come over, have a nice young core, and the only way would be up really from where we're at the moment.
Yeah, that's David Vanderpool for anyone who didn't.
You're missing out someone as well. The Hawks assistant coach is Nate McMillan. Yeah. So you're talking about next person up. He's the coach for the Pacers, has a good reputation. It's back. It's back, ladies and gentlemen. After a short break, our favourite segment is back, and we have got two marquee matchups for you right now. So the first matchup, I will be hosting the question, and it will be Lancashire Laimbeer versus One Bar Wildy. Excellent. Let's get to it. I've got the timer. We're not using the edge strategy and having our own timer as he did before.
Still have my own timer if I want, prick.
It's fighting words. It's fighting talks. It's lucky I'm not judging Ed's category. But yeah,
Ed's like, I'm top of the table. I have a timer for one. So I'm star player.
Okay, so I will let you know who goes first. So the question was, Kyrie spoke out about how the NBA logo should be changed from Jerry West to Kobe Bryant. Who do you think should be the new NBA logo if they changed it? So I am going to go with Wildy first. Okay. Count you down 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so I'm a bit of a curveball here. In my opinion, I don't know why it has to be one person. Adam Silver has not been shy about making dramatic changes and breaking tradition. It's the National Basketball Association. To have Jerry West in the center, you have Kobe Bryant on one side, and then for the national side of it, you get Dirk Nowitzki silhouette shooting a jump shot. I really like all three of those images because they're all really iconic. The reason why Jerry West was picked originally was not because he was a big star, but because the photo resembled elegance and powerful image of basketball. So it was just a coincidence that Jerry West happened to be a really good player at the time as well. So I like the idea of having three people in there instead of just one, and highlighting the national side of things as the game continues to grow globally, having somebody as iconic as Dirk.
Time. Okay, interesting. Matt, are we ready to go? Lock and load?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
So I had to think about what a logo is all about, and a logo is about showing the image of the sport and the league, and which player transformed the image and the culture of the league the most in recent years. And my answer is the answer, Allen Iverson. So he was obviously first pick in the draft, Rookie of the Year, 11 times All-Star, winning the All-Star MVP twice, obviously a league MVP in 2001, and he's probably got the most iconic look with his cornrows and his headband. If you can incorporate that onto the NBA logo, that would be so fucking sick. And everyone knows the impact he's had on the game, and it would be great just to show that on the logo of the league.
Way to play to your audience. Golly.
Yes. No.
I mean, I have no complaints. Last week he said Embiid and Simmons best duo in the league. Now he's talking about AI. Whew. Okay, cool. So
Kobe Bryant was born in Philadelphia.
Time is up, sir. You have had your time is up. Right. So we've got Wildy talking about 3 influences to Jerry West, Kobe, and Dirk versus AI. The answer. Okay. As much as I love Allen Iverson and what he's done for the game, I'm going with the answer which I think probably will happen, and that is the three legends on the logo. I think that's a really nice piece about Iverson because he's such an inspiration to so many players, but I feel like the recognition he gets a lot of slander because of like what his image was and what he did off the court. But with the point about the cornrows, I don't know how they could fit that into the logo. I like the idea of like the crossover, but when you started talking about the cornrows, I was like, I don't see how they can transition that. Compared that with like a Dirk fadeaway, which is on the Dallas Mavs court. That's something I could see them really doing it because they love talking about European players and the growth of the game. So that's who I'm picking. But yeah, thank you both. And Matt, special thank you for picking up Iverson whenever he's mentioned. I love it. Yeah, great.
On that point, actually, I would like to see the players do a vote on who they think they should do it. I think that would be a nice input, a nice touch from the NBA, and I think it would be a nice way. It's like maybe every 20, 30 years or maybe every 50 years, every generational player that you could ask the players.
Yeah, they'd have to get the retired players in as well, because someone like Kareem with the skyhook, he's probably being slept on a bit there. Like, that's a seriously iconic shot. Obviously, unfortunately, there's not many people old enough to remember it, but
I guess the thing with the NBA logo is just so iconic that you may just not want to change it just because it's just so synonymous with the brand. Yeah. But
yeah. They should do the Iverson step over if I had to choose one.
Oh, poor Ty.
You get 2 players in the logo.
That's cold.
There's only one player in that logo with a chip. There's only one player in that logo with a chip, just saying.
Yeah, well, how many chips do the Orlando Magic have?
We're an expansion franchise. Moving swiftly on, actually, to a very good transition.
Yeah. Also, another point: don't get the fans to vote for it because I'm sure they'll put Zaza Pachulia on the logo. Yeah. Right. Let's go to the second matchup. Jordan, you're hosting this one. Take it away.
Awesome. So, as we mentioned about championships, there are still quite a few teams in the NBA who haven't won a championship yet. My question is, out of those teams, who do you think should have won a championship by now? Who would like to go first?
Can take it.
Sweet. Off you go. 3, 2, 1, time.
Alex already said it. It's Ed's own Orlando Magic. They're a young franchise. They've been around for 30 years. They're not the youngest, but they haven't been around that long compared to others. They've had 2 goes at it, not only to get to the finals, but with franchise players. One who was a top 10 all-time player in Shaq, and the second time around with Dwight Howard and the cast they had there, they've had 2 goes at it. They weren't going up against any dynasties. They managed to get in between the Jordan years, and then they managed to miss the Warriors. They were just kind of before the Celtics, actually ended up knocking off the Celtics before they got really good. So they haven't had to go up against any all-timers. And in those finals, they knocked off some serious teams, and overall are 1-7. Like they should have done better. They should have had one, especially with that 95 team: Shaq, Penny, Horace Grant, Nick Anderson, and Dennis Scott. Like unbelievable.
Ed's trying to interrupt. Ed's trying to interrupt. He was like, "Oh shit, okay, shoot your shot. I can't do that."
If I speak, I'm in trouble. If I speak, I'm in trouble. So.
Oh man. Awesome. Okay, very good points. Very good points. I loved Ed's reaction throughout it.
Somebody that used to go. Oh god,
he hit him. He hit him where it hurt, bro. He hit him where it
Honestly.
hurt. He put the dagger right in his heart.
Oh gosh. Okay, you ready, Ed?
Of course.
For the clapback. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So there are only 4 teams in the NBA to make the finals twice without winning the ring. Orlando's one of them, and the team I'm choosing is another one of them. And funny enough, actually, along with Orlando, this team are the only teams to have been in the finals in 2 separate eras. And they've also been to the conference, to the championship round 9 times. That's 7th most in the NBA, and most without ever winning a chip as well. And that team is the Phoenix Suns, and they have some heartbreaking history. So let's quickly start off. In 1975, they made the finals against they made the finals and are up 3-2, and they lost a 3 overtime game in game 6 of that finals. And they then went on to lose that final game. In 1979, in the Western Conference Finals, they were up against Seattle, and they lost Game 6 by 1 point and Game 7 by 4 points. Seattle went on and handily dealt with Washington. Another heartbreaking loss for them that year. In 1993, the Finals, John Paxson hit What? Was it that quickly?
Yeah.
How long do we have? 30 seconds or a minute?
A minute. That was a full minute.
Fucking hell. I told me of it earlier and it was quicker. Say no more. I had a lot more to say.
George, man, you got a tough decision here, boy.
Yeah, I know. 2 very good arguments. One listing off the appearances, which adds to the performance, and the other listing off star players with that. Oh man, why do I always get the tough ones?
Why do you always make us wait?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like X Factor, man.
Wait,
you gotta wait.
Davina McCall,
Gotta wait for the judgment.
And we'll be back and answer after the break.
After the break.
You may still be charged.
Voting lines are now closed. Do not call the number.
In no particular order.
Please remember, viewers, this is a recording. The lines have now closed.
Do you know what's so funny about you may be charged? You definitely will be charged.
Yeah. It's such. I don't know if you saw. You may. Come
on. For me, though, I think I'm going to give it to Ed for the Phoenix Suns.
That would have been a double whammy if I lost that as well. God.
I thought I played it perfectly.
Yeah.
You did, and I thought that was a tough one. I was thinking, yeah, he's definitely going to win. But students, Ed started, even though he didn't get all his points out, I think the appearances and the losses aided in that. So that's my overall decision there.
It was actually a really fun topic to research. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that looking
I
into it.
spent ages looking at
As
teams.
soon as I remembered, I was thinking about that all day. How could I make this work? And I thought, yeah, that's definitely going to
It was really, I mean, you could have spoken about Nick Anderson's missed free throws. If you just spoke about that, that would have been the absolute killer. And it's been like, oh.
Now that he's won, can I just be a real nerd and just ask Ed to finish his argument?
Yeah. So
is that okay?
Yeah. So in 75, they're up 3-2, lost a triple overtime game in game 6, which is, you can imagine that. 79, again, as I said, against Seattle, lost game 6 by 1 point and game 7 by 4 points. In 1993,
who's on like 75? Are there any names that we're going to know?
there was no one big. There was no one particularly that big, but I guess in the 70s, the 70s wasn't exactly the golden era for
It's a long
NBA.
Diluted league, yeah.
In 1993, John Paxson hit that 3 for the Bulls in game 6. If he missed that, it would have gone to game 7 in Phoenix. Tough. In 94 and 95, 7-game series both years against Houston, who obviously went back-to-back those years in the semis. It just feels so frustrating. They lose to the team that wins. And then you go to the 2000s. They made the conference finals 3 years. 2 of those times, the team they lost to won it. And there was obviously the game against San Antonio where Steve Nash got body checked. And it was the first time they had that rule where if you come off even if you stand up from the bench, you get suspended, and it had so many players suspended for the following game. So there was just a lot of heartbreak Phoenix have had throughout the years, and they've been around longer than the Magic have. They're a historic franchise.
Yeah, the line that you have to cross is impossible not to cross if you stand up because their feet are like size 15. It's like so unfair.
Well done. Another one that I was thinking about was obviously like the Kings getting robbed in that Lakers series.
They've won one. They've won a chip before.
Oh, have they? Oh,
yeah,
man.
Sacramento Royals. Yeah, when they were in Sacramento Royals, they won one.
And it's mad when you think about it. And I was looking down the list, and it's like, the Raptors. Oh yeah, the Raptors won one because they hired Kawhi for half a season. Like, how mental is that?
Let's not speak about that.
I thought you would have gone for Utah. I think Utah is probably the most obvious one because they came up against Jordan.
But then obviously they had a great team, but that's like the Jordan that was at all time. So I don't think you can't really say you expect Stockton and Malone to knock off Jordan. Like, that's a big ask. And they haven't had any, with the ones we mentioned, they've had multiple goes at it. Like, there hasn't been another era, I think, for Utah.
Right. So we got wins for, oh my God, I've put L in the thing. I'm so sorry. In the Google Doc, I've put an L instead of a W. Sorry, guys. So Wildy and Ed have got wins for Shoot Your Shot, which is great. Really good discussions on both ones. We're going to head to back-to-back. And we haven't done this in quite a while, and I won't be partaking. The last time we did back-to-back, we did best basketball movies, and it is literally a round robin in a sense of people keep going until they don't have any answers. But I will be hosting this round because I've done some research. So, do you guys want to know the category?
Yep.
All right. The category, and we're going to start from bottom to top. So, Bray, you will go first, and it will loop back round to you after Ed. So, I'll make sure I get the leaderboard up so I know the order. So, the category is NBA players that have released rap songs.
Oh.
Right. Okay. So,
is it current players? Current.
No, it's past and present. You can have past as well. Once a player is chosen, they are off that list. Yep. If you do say a player and it's not on my board, I can obviously check it. But yeah, we'll do it one by one. So Bray, you're serving.
Lovely. I'll go with Damian Lillard.
It's a surprise.
He is right at the top of my list. Thank you. Okay, yep, that is on the list. Right. Matt, you're up.
Shaq.
Yep. Nickname Shaq Diesel. That was his album. Very good. Oh, and also with Damian Lillard, he's released 3 albums. Big Dollar, Confirmed, and the letter O. There you go. Wildy, you are third.
AI.
That is correct. AI. His
Terrible
rap.
album.
His rap. Well, no, his album actually didn't get released. It got banned because of the NBA. Like the NBA banned it, but he released a song called 40 Bars. George.
Now I can't remember if it was purely just singing or rapping, and I'm taking a major gamble here to stay in. I'm gonna go with Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
If he
that's one of
released
mine.
Yeah,
That
that
was
is correct. Well done. He has a song with Tyra Banks. Yeah. Ed.
I'm gonna go for the easy one. So let's just get Lonzo out the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Album Born to Ball. Okay, Bray, it's back at you. That's good. I was actually shocked. I didn't think we were going to last first round.
Yeah, so this is
one round.
this is where my knowledge is running thin, and I had a really niche one that I really wanted to save because I think not many people know this, but Ron Artest.
Yeah, that is correct.
Good
Better
lad.
world
Wow, I didn't have him. I
Of
didn't have
course
him.
he did.
peace. So he had an
That's a
album.
world piece.
He had a album called Diamond Wave. You can check it out on Spotify, and he obviously has the song Champions, which is in the 2K. I think 2K10.
No, 11.
Yep. Okay, so we're back at Mr. Harris.
I'm going to go KG.
I'd be so surprised.
He did have one, did he
Not on
not?
my list.
I swear I've heard it in a podcast. He had it.
Don't think so.
Oh, well.
He's not on my list, you know.
Just
No,
check
he's-
it. Google it quick.
I'm Googling it. It's not here. But he is featured in the Lonely Island song, I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. And he's
Oh,
got
right,
Honestly,
There's
nothing
another
here.
player who still plays in the league who's on a boat in a DJ Khaled music video. Can you tell me who that player is?
I know it is. I got it.
I know you have it.
I have no idea.
Tyler Hero?
You're mine, man.
Yeah. It's Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we
Sorry,
have to
man.
say goodbye to Mr. Harris. While you're up.
So, I don't know if this is the right genre, so I'm probably out. But Westbrook.
It's not on my list.
Don't think he had one.
I was sure. Oh no! It's Kyrie Irving.
I'm taking Westbrook, but I'm not even going to respond about Kyrie Irving. Wildy, I have to say goodbye to you because that Russell Westbrook does not have a song.
Go.
Okay, we move on. We're down to
Sorry,
three.
I thought that would still get. I thought I'd still get through. I'm sorry if I took a pick there, guys.
Nah, he didn't respond to
we'll
it.
Have to.
So
We'll have to find out.
we'll find out. So I can either gamble with what I've got or trust Wildy's mind game.
Do you trust
Unless
me?
he's
What
just
happened with
set me up.
grown-ups?
This is his revenge play. I can feel it. And I'm going to fall for it. I'm going to go Kyrie Irving. I'm going to take it.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving has a song called Ridiculous, which is on the Uncle Drew album. It's actually pretty good song. I liked it. Okay, Ed, we're back at you.
So I've got a couple obvious names, but I just want to get the ones I'm 100% sure about. And I believe Chris Webber does have an album because they made fun of his album cover when he's just there shirtless. So Chris Webber.
Yeah, that is correct. He has he did a song Corruption called Gangster Gangster. Yeah. And Bray, we're back at you.
Oh, this is tough. I don't know who I want to go for. I don't know whether to go for like someone like a young guy who I think might have done it, or like someone really old school, like Chris Webber.
Just remember that.
Is Jalen Rose on there?
I don't think so.
So is that your answer?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, ooh, test it out. It doesn't work like that.
Dip
You've
the
got to-
toe.
I know.
Yeah. You're going with Jalen
I know.
Rose.
I'll go with Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose, no.
Wow.
Jalen Rose is not on here.
He's cool enough to be in music videos, but knows his talent.
Yeah, so we're down to 2 teams that have been getting wins are in the top 2 again. George, you're up.
Okay, so originally when you said this, I know you were saying rap, so I was thinking like LLoyd and Oladipo, but I know Oladipo isn't rap, so that's a shame. So I'm just gonna have to go old now and take a stab at it, and I'm gonna go with Tracy McGrady.
Oh, that's not a bad shout.
That is a good shout.
Yeah.
Not in my list. Geordie doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it. Oh,
Doesn't
man.
have it. He doesn't have it.
Can I give you some of my remainders?
No. You got to give me your first answer.
Okay. Well, I
win.
definitely know Lance Stephenson's got a music video with him in the Charlotte Hornets top doing rap over Bobby Schmurder's song. I know that's a fact. I don't.
Yeah, he's taking it. Yeah. Very good.
Nice. Well played.
Very good. He's taking it. Yeah, hot. You know the other word.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go through my list. So Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I've got Iman Shumpert.
Yeah.
He's got his own mixtape.
Yeah.
Lou Will did a freestyle of I'm a Boss. Meta World Peace, Shaq, Kobe.
I was gonna say
Tony Parker has a full album called TP, which features Jamie Foxx. Dwight Howard did a all-star album called Shoot for the Stars. Basically, it's so bad. He literally like rips off famous songs. But yeah, LeBron is on this.
LeBron's there.
No, I'll show you. LeBron's on there. LeBron and KD did a song together called "It Ain't Easy."
Because KD fired a shot at Skip Bayless in that song, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, it's been brought up.
JaVale McGee actually produced and wrote on Justin Bieber's latest album, but he had a self-titled album he had an album called Pierre. Andre Drummond, Aaron Gordon, Marvin Bagley, Cedric Ceballos, Marquise Daniels, Dana Barros, Brian Shaw, and Gary Payton. That's my list.
Isn't Aaron Gordon like
9 out of 10?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's basically about the dunk contest.
Yeah.
He raps about the dunk contest.
Also had Steven Jackson as one. I think Steven Jackson may have also released an album.
He did talk about it in the pod, didn't he? How they did. Yeah, he recorded a verse. But yeah, that's he does have a song. Cool. Is it that's what I had. But yeah, well done.
Talented bunch.
Right. And I was either going to say Meta World Peace or Tracy McGrady as well.
Yeah.
And I switched it.
Just remember, champion.
That was already taken, though.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I said it because I know he was on 2K11, but that's the only one I know.
Yeah, so that wraps up back to back. We've got Ed taking the win. A lot of artists dabbled into rap. Some are good, most are pretty bad. But definitely go come out if you can. And yeah, we'll be back next week with more of the fun stuff. Ed's got a new segment called Step Up to the Line that we'll be featuring, and we'll be talking about 2 more divisions. So until then, it is over and out.
Ciao.
Peace.